a supermarket brand bottle of shampoo for mother-in-law, and the nastiest perfume I could find at the dollar store for sister-in-law. The most expensive gift was a large rawhide bone for brother-in-law and his wife's chihuahua. I saved about $600 to put on a deposit for a new apartment. My husband came home from Christmas lunch telling me I humiliated him and embarrassed him in front of his family. I asked him why he thought I'd buy nice gifts for people who don't like me and don't want me around. I served divorce papers last week. Remember how he was supposed to be a millionaire by now, so we had that prenup? STBX is not eligible for any of my savings or alimony. He doesn't have money for rent and auto insurance. It's not my problem anymore. Some of my friends and family were on my side and proud that I went out in a blaze of glory. Update 9 days later. First, for those who asked how the deposit on my new apartment was only the $600 I saved on the gifts, it certainly wasn't. I had to dip into savings, but that $600 helped. My STBX didn't bother reaching out to me after I left until he was served the divorce papers and my lawyer made it clear we were exercising the prenup. Then it was loving voicemails and texts I never picked up from him and his family for a few days trying to convince me to come back, which eventually turned to threatening and cruel voicemails and texts when it was clear I wasn't budging. My lawyer suggested I don't block them, so we have evidence of harassment if needed. Basically, give them the rope to hang themselves with. But then, last night, I got call after call from my STBX. Stupidly, I picked it up, thinking there was some kind of emergency or something. I barely got hello when he said, "The rent is a week late." I told him that was strange because I paid my landlord 6 days ago. He paused, sighed dramatically, and replied, "No, the rent for here." I reminded him I don't live there and he shouldn't expect rent. His parents both texted me that they will sue me to pay the remainder of the lease. I'm not worried about having an eviction on my record since the apartment is in his parents' names. When we first announced we were moving to his hometown, they rented an apartment for us right away so we could move right in. They've been renewing the lease each year. We had to pay his parents, and then they wrote a check to the landlord, who had no idea who STBX and I were, let alone that we lived there. Red flag, I know. I'm glad I had a few weeks to prepare for my leave since they'd probably use the fact that it's their apartment to kick me out immediately. Divorce is probably going to be a bumpy ride with this man-child and his psycho parents. Lawyers are confident they have no leg to stand on. I haven't signed any type of lease and utilities are in their name, too, because they were afraid of having too many names connected to the apartment and the landlord finding out. So they are on the hook for everything that doesn't get paid. But, hey, that was their choice and their scheming. Fafo.